a draw, but I think Tank got lucky with the draw. It was a draw, okay, but Tank got lucky with the draw. Tank definitely did not win that. If I was going to pick a winner in that fight, I hate to say it because I like Tank, but I would pick Roach. If there was no draws and there had to be a winner, I would pick Roach. Because Tank was lucky to get a draw, but it was a draw. You lot got to admit it was a draw. There was no clear winner. What is a draw? It's when you can't really pick a winner because the fight was so even. The fight was equal and they thought it was the same. You know what I'm saying? They thought both fighters fought well and there was no clear winner. That's what a draw is, basically. That's what a draw is, when the fight is equal. Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis was a draw. Whether you want to say you're a Roach fan or a Tank fan, it was a draw, man. But I do think, and I will say, Tank was lucky to get the draw. Now, we look at Jake Paul. He's fought... This is disappointing. He's fought shit people. I mean, he's fought nobodies. He's fought old people. He's fought people like Ben Askren. The only fight that Jake Paul had, which was tough, was Tommy Fury, and he lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Tommy Fury is not a good boxer. He is a boxer, because I've heard online people saying Tommy Fury's not a boxer. Well, just because his second name is Fury and he's living off Tyson a little bit does not mean he's not a boxer. Do you know what I'm saying? Tommy Fury is a boxer. He's not a very good one, but he is a boxer. We cannot say, and we cannot sit here and say Tommy Fury is not a boxer. He is a boxer. He's just a shit boxer. And I feel like fighting KSI and fighting Jake Paul was definitely bad for his career. Because Tommy Fury likes to think himself as like... Tommy Fury likes to sit on his high horse and think that he's above everyone a little bit. So when he went to Misfits and fought KSI or Jake Paul or whatever the thing was, when he went and fought them people, it kind of put the respect down and put the bar down of Tommy Fury and the Fury name in general. But Jake Paul, the first challenging fight he had was Tommy Fury and he lost. But it was a controversial loss, do you know what I'm saying? So the real question is, does size matter? Now, obviously the girls, we're not talking the bedroom, we're not a boxing match, does size matter? I want to say yes. Every single part of me is saying yes. But look at Usyk Fury. Look at Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is big. What is he? 6'8", 6'9", and then Usyk's what, like 5'11", 6 foot. Like, people think Usyk's really small, but actually he is quite tall. You know what I'm saying? He is quite tall. He just looks small. So Usyk's probably like 6 foot. Put Usyk's height on screen somewhere. He's either 5'11" or 6 foot. Usyk is still tall though. Everyone thinks he's tiny because he fights people like AJ and Fury, but Usyk is actually quite tall. Like when you see him. So Tyson Fury lost twice. Twice Tyson lost to Usyk. AJ lost twice to Usyk. Daniel Dubois lost twice to Usyk. Now, they're all big, tall, heavyweight, big contenders, boxers. That make no sense at all. So I apologise, but they're all big guys, you know what I'm saying? They're all big guys. They're all above 6 foot, and they're all built, like, muscular. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that Usyk beat every single one of them, not just once, twice. He beat AJ twice, he beat Dubois twice, and he beat Fury. You know what? That's fucking impressive. To beat Fury twice, AJ twice, and Dubois twice, that is fucking impressive. Usyk is different, man. He's different. So now we're thinking, does size matter? Usyk has proved that size does not matter. But is it the same with Tank and Jake Paul? Jake Paul is a big guy. He's a big guy, and he's weighing a lot more than Tank. Tank is probably like, me personally, yeah, right now I'm 62 kg, so I'm like 135 pounds. I weighed myself the other day, I'm like 135 pounds, 62 kg. I'm in good, yo, you lot, I'm in good shape, you know what I'm saying? I'm in good shape. That's all I'm going to say, I'm in good shape, but I'm like 135 pounds, 62 kg. Tank is probably similar to me, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Tank fights at lightweight. Lightweights are normally about 130, 140 pounds, around that. All the lightweights, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, obviously Gervonta Davis, all the lightweights are around that weight, 130 to 140, maybe 150, but that's pushing it. So you got to think, what's Jake Paul 200 plus, and then Tank's what, like let's say Tank's 140. Let's say Tank is weighing it for 140. I don't know the exact weights, the exact stats, but let's say Tank is going to move up to 140, and then Jake's like 230. That is fucking crazy. That weight difference is fucking crazy. Now, not only is Jake's taller, he's bigger, he's got a better reach, and he can get inside Tank. But you've got to realise, and you've got to think about it, Tank is the lightweight champ, okay? He's dominated the division, he's beat Ryan Garcia, he's undefeated in his professional career, he's beat some big names. But the size, it's the size. If Tank was fighting anyone else, like if Tank fought Pitbull Cruz, if Tank fought Ryan Garcia again, if Tank fought Haney, I would back Tank. But it's the size. Size does matter in fights. Obviously, Usyk is a walking, like, contradictory of that. But you've got to think, man. You've really got to think about it. Tank is tiny. He's like 130 pounds. I don't even know his height, but he's tiny, man. Anyone see the press conference? Pull the picture up or the face off. Put the picture somewhere, the face off somewhere on the screen. It was mad. Tank was like there and Jake was like there. Now, I hate Jake Paul. I'm going to say it loud and clear. I hate Jake Paul. But the guy is smart. He's smart. He knows Tank is a big name. Tank dominates his division. And he knows that Tank is a great fucking fighter. So if Jake Paul beats Tank, he gets respect because Tank is Tank. Obviously, if Jake wins, people are going to say, oh, yeah, but he fought Tank and Tank shit. Because they all know that Tank is good. The only thing people can say if Jake wins is the height advantage or the weight advantage. Do you know what I'm saying? So Jake is very smart. Jake fights people that he knows he has an advantage of. So when he wins, he gets respect. He fights people with big names who are really famous, who are really good at what they do. So when Jake wins, and if Jake wins, he gets mad respect and mad money. So Jake Paul is very smart. We can say what we want, and I do hate him, but he's smart. Jake Paul is a smart man. We cannot say he's stupid. He knows what he's doing when he's fighting people like Gervonta Davis. So the fight's in like 2 weeks, November 14th. Today's like, what, 2 days before Halloween? 1 day before Halloween, so it's like, what, the 30th of October? But Tank has the skill, Tank has the speed, and Tank has the experience. So if we're going to look at skill-wise, and speed, and experience, Tank has all them. They're tick, 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 tick. But if we're going to look at the height and the weight, Jake has it. So the real question is, can Tank handle someone that much bigger than him? Because he hasn't fought anyone that big. Do you know what I'm saying? So I want to give you my prediction. I like Tank, man. I like Tank so much. He's probably my favourite lightweight boxer right now. Man. I don't want to say Tank's going to lose because Tank is so good. Gervonta Davis is such a skilled, experienced, professional fighter. But Jake is so much bigger and he weighs so much more that it's going to be so hard for Tank to get inside. It's going to be so hard for Tank to get a jab, to even just get a reach and to get a punch. As soon as Tank gets close to him, as soon as Tank gets inside and gets close to him, it's going to be hard because Jake can put all this weight in it and just keep jabbing him, keep him at a distance. It's the fucking size, it's the weight. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say Tank wins. I'm actually gonna say Gervonta Davis wins. I am gonna choose the skill, the speed, the experience over Jake Paul's weight. Just because of what Tank has done in the sport and what Tank has been through, the people he's beat and the things he's done. I'm going to say Tank wins. Like, you've got to think about it, yeah. Tank has grown up in boxing. Like, boxing is all Gervonta Davis has. Jake Paul's kind of adapted to boxing. He's went from YouTube to, like, this to that, to, like, making money and then trading and doing all this bollocks and then going to boxing. Do you know what I'm saying? Jake Paul's quite new to boxing. But he's very smart. You've got to give Jake Paul that. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. But I'm going to say Tank wins, and everyone's going to disagree. But you've got to think, Gervonta Davis is still Gervonta Davis. Whether he's so much smaller and weighs so much less, he's still Gervonta Davis. Do you know what I mean? So it's really difficult to say Gervonta Davis is going to lose, especially to someone like Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul, people always say he's not a boxer. He is. I would class Jake Paul as an amateur boxer. He's just an amateur boxer who's very smart and takes the fights that he knows are going to give him like a big boost of his career. So I think Gervonta Davis is going to win. I don't think it's going to be a draw. There's no way it can end up as a draw. The size difference, the experience, the skill difference, the speed, the weight difference. There's no way this is going to end up as a draw. Either someone's going to dominate and win, or it's going to be an early knockout. Bro, there's just no way that this ends up as a draw. They're two completely different fighters, completely different mindsets, completely different height, weight, skill, speed, experience. They're just completely fucking different. But I do think Gervonta Davis is going to win. Let me know in the comments what you lot are thinking. But I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking good. Because it's so interesting to see someone this good against someone who's this, like, big. Do you know what I mean? Tank is so good, but it's like, is he that good where he can beat someone who weighs that much more and is that much taller? But then you've got to think, Floyd beat Logan Paul, and Logan Paul's fucking, like, Logan's a big guy. Do you know what I mean? But then you've got to think Floyd's defense. And I think Usyk, Floyd and Tank are all going to prove that height does not matter, that weight does not matter. What matters in the sport is the experience, the speed and the skill. It's basically skill versus weight. Skill versus height. Experience versus height. Speed versus height. Speed versus weight. So it's going to be really interesting, but I'm going to back Tank. And I want to say my prediction right now. Tank wins. Tank wins. But for Jake Paul, man, if he loses, he can say, oh, well, I fought Gervonta Davis, the lightweight champion. Do you know what I mean? I fought Gervonta Davis, who's this big and this good and this, like, dominant in the division. But if Jake wins, he can also say, I've just beat Gervonta Davis. There's no risk. Like, I was going to say I don't know why Tank took the fight, but Tank took the fight because he knew that he would get paid a massive amount. Anyone who fights Jake Paul gets a massive amount of money. And we all know Tank's thinking about retiring. So I feel like once Tank fights Jake Paul, he gets the bag or the million or whatever the fucking price is. Jake and Tank are getting a lot. And that's not even including bonuses and all that shit. I feel like Tank is going to retire. Because he's got nothing else to prove. Do you know what I'm saying? He's beat the whole lightweight division. And he's got massive money from the Jake Paul fight. And his bank account is looking fucking good. So Tank can literally go off to the Bahamas, fuck off anywhere he wants, and live a quiet life. Do you know what I'm saying? You can just get away from the whole sport. And that's what Tank wants to do. He said that publicly. But, I mean, I think Tank is still going to win. Because Gervonta Davis is still Gervonta Davis. You've got to think about that. Tank is still Tank. But it's going to be a good fight, man. Comment down below who you think's going to win. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. And it's on Netflix as well, so it's going to be easy to watch. It's not one of these websites where we've got to go on a million different things and the quality's bad. It's on Netflix, streaming live on Netflix, so it's going to be easy for anyone around the UK or America who has Netflix to watch. It's going to be easy to watch. And I just hope Jake Paul gets knocked out, because I dislike Jake. He's smart and he's, you know, he's a decent. He's a decent fighter. I'll give him that. He's a decent, smart fighter, but I think he's a prick. So I hope he gets knocked out. But let me know in the comments who you think's gonna win. Subscribe, like, comment, share, bang.